everybody, this little video that I'm going to show is last week I was in Austin. In Austin I walked around my sister's neighborhood of Clarksville, and then we looked at a place that we ate. It's called Josephine House. My sister also is the gardener there, and it was really cool to walk around and see this part of Austin. Just a wonderful little neighborhood in the heart of Austin, right up above the university. So I hope you'll enjoy that tour. I wanted to talk a little bit about Josephine House. My sister does the gardens, and on Sunday I went with her real early before the sous chefs and everybody gets there to open up the place. And it reminded me of my trip to Paris, when I would get up real early in the morning and watch all the shop owners wash the outside of their shops, use brooms that look like Wicked Witch of the West brooms, or Harry Potter brooms, to clean the outside of their storefronts. And it was one of the best parts of my trip to Paris. I loved watching that. Another cool thing was, as my sister was watching, all the neighbors would stop by and go, "Hey, how are you doing?" And it was cool to see that my sister not only works in a neighborhood, but she's a part of this neighborhood. And this neighborhood is where, as a little kid, my grandmother would take us to the grocery store. Now, there's a part of the grocery store that you'll see in this video is called the cash carry. And when we were little kids, we felt like we went miles and miles, but it's not that far from her house. But that's where we would go with my grandmother to get groceries, so I love this neighborhood. And on Sunday afternoon, my sister and my mom and I ate at Josephine House, and it was so delicious. I got some granola that was handmade, and it reminded me of granola my grandmother made. She always made granola in the oven. She was kind of a health nut, way up before her time, did a lot of yoga. So that was cool. I also got a bowl of fruit, and in the fruit they cut up real thin little strips of mint that my sister had grown with just a hint of honey. It was delicious, and it was fun to know my sister grew that mint for them. It was also cool the way the waitstaff treated us. I would have thought I was the Queen of England. They gave us the best service ever because they appreciate all the work my sister does and how wonderful she makes this place look. I really came away with a couple of things. One is that no matter what the job is, if you do it well, people appreciate it, even if they don't tell you that. And every job is important, even jobs you don't see. Like my sister spent like 2 hours getting all the leaves out of the outdoor seating area where we sat, and nobody notices that sort of thing, but it's important for it to be done. And I brought home 2 souvenirs from Josephine House, and I don't know if the camera will, let's see if it'll. One was the coaster, and it's just so beautiful that people do just beautiful artwork like this just for the coaster. And this says Clarksville, I think. Yeah, that's the neighborhood they're in, Clarksville. And the other thing I took was in the bathroom. Let me see if this shows up. Let me get the camera to focus on it. Let me pull it back. There you go. This was a towel, like it's a paper towel, but it's just too beautiful. It says Josephine House with this rose on it. And this kind of touch just doesn't exist anymore with beautiful artwork on the paper. You know, when people throw these away, I dried my hand on it and had to take it home. It was so pretty. Anyway, let's see if this camera will focus on me now. It will. Just every attention to detail, little touches like that. It reminded me that you know, you don't always need an award for what you do, but little touches mean a lot. So it gave me inspiration at work to do little things better. Make sure that all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, because it does make a difference. And boy, did we get good service. And they gave everybody good service, don't get me wrong, but man, they wanted to show their appreciation to Jackie, my sister, and that was so neat for me to see that. It just was great. And I flew out that afternoon, and I had gotten a smoked pork chop from Cash Carry. They do a lot of smoked meats. And I had my leftover granola and leftover fruit. And I want you to know, everybody on that airplane, as I flew back to Seattle, was like, oh, wait a minute, where did you get that dinner? That's not fair. And that was kind of interesting. And so I hope you enjoy this video of walking around Clarksville, seeing Josephine House. If you're ever in Austin, you need to eat there. It's right on West Lynn, or you can go to Jeffrey's, which is next door. It's fancy, or you can just buy a pork chop at Cash Carry. There's a wonderful nursery right across the street called Sledds. I want to give a shout out to them. They were really helpful to us there. The owner showed us around. That was so cool, and that was all because of my sister too. And that's a great nursery. If you're ever there, you need it. Josephine House. Go to Sledds, get whatever you need plant-wise, and I suggest you walk around Clarksville. It's a beautiful neighborhood. It's getting kind of gentrified now, but it still has some quirky homes there that make Austin weird. So enjoy this video. Bye!